Welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive?
Always.
This time, we're going back in time a bit.
Ooh, time travel.
Well, sort of. We're looking at 2022.
Okay, I can handle that.
Using the CrowdStrike 2023 Global Threat Report to guide us.
Sounds interesting. What's the plan?
By the end of this, you'll know all about the big cybersecurity trends of 2022.
And more importantly,
why they still matter to you today. So, 2022. Wild year, right?
Definitely.
The world was still figuring out the whole post-pandemic thing.
Businesses were adapting like crazy.
And just when we thought things might be calming down.
Bam! Geopolitical tensions skyrocket.
Oh, and don't forget the economic uncertainty.
Yeah, talk about a roller coaster.
And you know who just loves a good roller coaster?
Who?
Cyber adversaries.
Makes sense, actually.
They thrive on chaos. All that instability, it's like an open invitation.
Exactly. It's like they saw an opportunity in all that uncertainty.
And they definitely weren't shy about taking it.
You saw cybercrime, espionage, even hacktivism.
All going through the roof in 2022.
But here's the thing.
What's that?
It's not just about the volume of attacks anymore. It's how they're doing it. They're getting sneakier.
Stealthy, you could say. And sneaky is an understatement. One stat from the report really jumped out at me. 71% of attacks in 2022.
Let me guess. Malware-free.
Exactly. Can you believe that? No malware involved.
It's a whole new ballgame, isn't it?
It really is. It's like they've traded in their crowbars for lockpicks.
They're after your keys, basically.
That's yes.
Well, not literally. Your logins, passwords, all those digital credentials.
Ah, I get it. Why kick down the door when you can just steal the key?
Precisely.
And speaking of keys, the report mentioned this crazy increase in access broker advertisements.
Oh, yeah, those are a growing problem.
112% increase? What exactly is an access broker anyway?
It's like a digital black market for your credentials.
So, criminals buying and selling access to people's accounts?
Pretty much. Imagine a company.
Maybe even the one listening right now.
Exactly. And they have all this sensitive data stored online.
Which, let's be honest, everyone does these days.
True. So instead of trying to hack in themselves, criminals can just go to this digital marketplace.
And buy their way in.
It's all about efficiency.
Disturbingly efficient. And these access brokers, they're not just amateurs, are they?
Not at all. They're using some really sophisticated techniques.
Anything in particular that caught your eye?
MFA fatigue is a big one.
MFA fatigue.
Multi-factor authentication fatigue.
Hmm.
You know, when you get bombarded with those requests.
Oh, right. The text messages, the app notifications.
Exactly. And they just keep coming at you until eventually you just click approve without thinking, especially if you're busy or distracted.
It's like they're weaponizing our exhaustion with technology.
In a way, they are. We're so used to being bombarded with notifications that we let our guard down.
And it's not just our work computers that are at risk anymore, is it?
Nope. Phones, tablets, even smart home devices.
It feels like everything is moving to the cloud these days.
That's true. And as we shift more of our lives online, cyber criminals are following close behind.
Like pioneers in a digital gold rush.
Perfect analogy. Everyone's scrambling for a piece of this new frontier, and the bad guys are looking for the easiest targets.
And I'm guessing those targets are
people who haven't quite secured their digital homesteads, so to speak.
Right.
Misconfigured systems, weak passwords, those sorts of things.
So it's not all high-tech hacking then?
Sometimes the simplest way in is the best.
Low-hanging fruit.
Exactly. And once they're in, they can hijack your account, steal your data, you name it.
Not a pretty picture. Okay, so we've talked about what they're after, where they're going to get it.
But how?
Exactly. How are they actually pulling these attacks off? It's not all Hollywood hacking, right?
So surprisingly often, it's less about fancy code and more about good old-fashioned manipulation.
Social engineering, right? Like those phishing emails.
Exactly. But they've gotten really good at it.
The report mentioned a group, what was it called? Scattered Spider.
Scattered Spider. And they're a prime example.
What did they do?
They were notorious for using those access brokers we talked about. But they didn't just buy any credentials. They used them to craft these hyper-personalized phishing attacks.
So instead of just a generic, your bank account has been compromised email.
Right. They might know details about your job, your hobbies, even your online shopping habits.
Creepy. But effective, I imagine.
Very. If you get an email that seems tailored just for you, you're much more likely to let your guard down.
It's a little unnerving how good they've gotten at this. Speaking of high stakes.
The war in Ukraine.
Exactly. When that happened, everyone was worried about a digital Pearl Harbor. Did that actually happen?
Well, Russia certainly used cyber attacks.
They did. targeted critical infrastructure, even used that terrifying wiper malware, Acid Rain.
Designed to completely erase data. Nasty stuff.
So was it the all-out cyber war everyone predicted?
It was definitely significant. But the impact wasn't as widespread as many feared.
Why not? What happened?
Well, it seems all those efforts to strengthen cybersecurity defenses actually paid off.
So the world was more prepared this time around?
To some extent, yes. Plus, as the conflict continued, Russia's cyber focus seemed to shift.
Shift how?
More towards intelligence gathering.
Espionage rather than sabotage.
Exactly. But while everyone was understandably focused on Ukraine, let's not forget about another big player in the cyber arena. China. And they haven't been slowing down. The report actually calls them the most active player in cyber espionage in 2022.
What were they after?
Everything. Intellectual property, government secrets, you name it.
Any particular targets?
They went after a wide range of industries. But given the ongoing tensions, it's no surprise that Taiwan was high on their list.
So 2022 was a busy year in the world of cyber threats.
Yeah.
What are your top takeaways for our listeners? What can they do to stay safe out there?
Honestly, the best defense is a good offense. Strong, unique passwords for every account, two-factor authentication wherever possible.
Music to my ears. What about phishing? Any tips for spotting those sneaky emails?
Be skeptical. If something seems off, don't click any links. Verify directly with the source if you have to.
Solid advice. So stay informed, be vigilant, and don't make it easy for the bad guys.
Well said. Cybersecurity is a marathon, not a sprint. And the more you know, the better equipped you'll be to protect yourself.
Couldn't agree more. We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive into 2022. It's clear that the threat landscape is constantly evolving.
But the good news is, so are the defenses.
That's right. And remember, knowledge is power. The more you understand the threats, the better prepared you'll be to navigate the digital world safely. If you want to delve deeper into any of this, we highly recommend checking out the full CrowdStrike 2023 Global Threat Report. Until next time, stay safe out there.